Welcome back to Season 5 of the Cool Times Podcast. We are your hosts, Jenna and Vince Free, and we are so excited to be back in studio after a pretty interesting 2025 year.
Yes.
And good Christmas, good New Year's. Are you ready? Are you refreshed, Jenna, for next year?
Always.
This year? 2026?
Can't wait.
Yeah, you're ready. Well, hey, we have a badass. Can I say that live? I can, right?
It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
We got a badass guest in studio today. He is the Senior Vice President of CBRE, Mr. David Sowers.
Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, my brother.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really fun to watch you and the evolution of this podcast.
Thank you.
Really been tremendous.
It's been fun. It's been a journey, but a fun one.
It's been a journey. And the best part about it was when we went to the hockey game, this last hockey game we went to a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
The Dallas Stars. Still not a Dallas Stars fan. However, second favorite team now.
Yes.
They were playing the Penguins.
They do a great show.
They were playing the Penguins, which is my team, and we lost in a shootout.
The memes that followed were hilarious.
They
in the
were
group chat.
good memes. But anyways, David was telling us that we were planning for this podcast for a while, and he's like, I'm watching every episode, I'm taking notes, and I'm like, you are our first guest to watch most of season 1 through 4.
Yes.
Like it was Stranger Things or something. You binge watched us.
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Hey, I like people who like to be prepared.
I made it more than halfway through. It's a lot of material.
It is.
You guys really have a lot of material.
Yeah.
A lot of fantastic guests.
Yeah.
People in the industry that I've seen and I should know, but maybe don't know personally at this point. So it's been a good education, and you get to learn a little bit about them.
That was the whole purpose.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that, because we want it to bring value to the guests, to the listeners, to the companies that are, a part of it, to our sponsors. Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, it's the coolest part about it is when Jen and I walk a conference and someone comes up to us and goes, "Hey, I'm so happy you had that guest on. I learned so much about that product, and I've reached out to him already." I'm like, "That's great." I mean, if we can help carry people's success, not carry it, but if we can help
Be a stepping stone.
yeah, propel someone's career in any way, shape, or form, they get a big account from it, they get a big sale. If we can benefit anyone from doing this is why we do it.
It's like LinkedIn, except you're freezed in.
Freezed in.
Oh
Frozen.
boy, here we go.
Freezed
It's a
in.
great connection point.
Dude, I like that. Freezed in. See, we have so many good marketing ideas when we do this podcast.
Down.
There you go.
I love it.
Freezed in
Freezed
with
in.
David Sowers.
David.
Man, so you have a very long history in real estate and 20 plus years. Take us back to the beginning. How'd you get into this, and how'd you land where you are today?
Well, I've told this story several times to people because it always resonates.
Yeah.
Everyone is very good at what they do at something, right?
That's right.
So really finding what that it is sometimes takes a little while.
Yeah.
So once I graduated from college, I moved from Central Illinois to Houston, and that was a claims adjuster, claim rep for an insurance company.
Yep.
It was great. I really just get to see and interact with a lot of different people.
Sure.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Found my way, left that industry, moved to Detroit, and got in the information technology.
Detroit? On purpose? No.
Well, yeah.
I love it.
I saw an opportunity to move towards sales, and that was in a recruiting position in IT.
Yeah.
That's where moved me to Dallas. Subsequently, met my wife here, which was
Amazing.
great. But
She's great, by the way.
She's so fun.
yeah, and interesting when you live in Detroit. Michigan's great.
Michigan
and
is
people
great.
in Detroit are really great, and it is still a little bit parochial. So when you ask a room of sales or recruiting type people that have lived there their entire life, who wants to go down and work in the Dallas office, and everyone looks at you. So there you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So I worked in IT for another firm a little while longer in the Dallas area, and then I started to take interest. Yeah, and I started selling information technology consulting, Y2K projects and things like that. We had Y2K, the event happened, and then
Was that a big deal in your line of work at that time? Like, I remember growing up and Y2K was and the world's gonna end, and the computer's not gonna understand when the last two digits are 00, right? You remember all that?
yeah, you certainly thought about it. And I think when the clock ticked over, we were at our friend's house in Austin. We wondered if the lights were going to go out or if something was going to happen.
I
It
remember.
really did.
I remember.
Do you
that.
remember where you were?
Zero, bank
Like,
account's going to empty out.
Yes, right.
Yes.
There goes all your money.
Yeah.
Did people like pull money out of their account because of that? Were there
have no
people
idea.
scared about that?
I mean,
I'm sure
we
there
really
were.
weren't. But when you work on the consulting side of that and you
Yeah.
see the preparation that
That's right.
Fortune 100 companies that used some of our people were doing, and really the testing and making sure that they really felt good about that conversion. And what's the alternative that happens if this doesn't? Maybe the billing system goes backwards for a period, and then you go and fix it.
Sure.
But I think largely people were pretty prepared for it, but it was a big spend to get there. And then when that was over, you still had some cleanup work to do for a year or two, but a lot of that industry kind of was starting to trail off.
Okay.
And I was pretty good at selling
Sure.
and working on different kinds of projects, but never really interested in information technology so much. I was really interested in commercial real estate. I had a liking to, just even as a kid, driving through the old parts of town. And I grew up in central Illinois, a town called Bloomington.
I know Bloomington.
We know it.
I played a lot of hockey in Bloomington.
Yeah.
Right on.
There was a asbestos plant on the west side of town, right by the railroad tracks. And we would drive by there when we went out to Farm and Fleet, the like farm and ranch store.
Farm and Fleet. I love it.
Yeah, and you would see that building, and I was always just fascinated. Dad, can we go in that building? He's like, that building's not going to be safe. You can't, we can't go in there. You can't ever go in there. I was maybe tempted a little bit once I got a driver's license.
Yes.
Never did, but still that curiosity of industrial buildings always just piqued my interest, and I really wanted to know more about it. And I never really figured that may play into something that was related to my career at some point.
That's right.
Now, cold storage is a long way from a building like that. So
I'm sure.
Yeah. So when Y2K really kind of wound down and I made the transition into commercial real estate, my anniversary's coming up here. It'll be 23 years in January.
Wow.
And the managing director at the time said, you need to be famous for something.
All right.
And that's important. It's important in life.
I like
really for
that.
everyone.
I like that.
So what is that going to be? Well, I was hired by Larry Leon, who was an industrial broker in our office, and was a tremendous mentor to me and really showed me the ropes. And I was 33 years old getting into this industry, which is later than most. Many people get into the business right out of college or a year or two after.
Sure.
Well, that's true. That's his story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I found it a little later.
Yeah.
But I had a wife and a kid at home and one on the way. So you have to make this work, and you really got to focus and dig in.
That's right.
Well, Larry had me drive every industrial building in town, and this is at that time the market was probably 700 million square feet of industrial product. Did that over the period of about 3 weeks. Made an inventory, made all these kind of notes, who's coming and going, what's going on with these buildings. And then ultimately a listing came in to a different team and they didn't want to work on it. And that came to Larry, and Larry said, hey, why don't you dig in on this? I go, well, what is it? Well, this is a 1953 20-foot clear brine refrigeration former Texas cold storage building in the Fort Worth stockyards. Let's, why don't you get to work and see if we can get this listed, get your name on the sign, get to work, see if we can get it sold.
Okay.
So that was the first thing that we dug in on.
Sure.
And then I remembered the words, you must be famous for something. So let's dig in and get it going.
Yeah.
So I made an inventory of every building in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that had available freezer and cooler space in it, no matter how big or small. And there were 17 buildings on that list.
Wow.
And then I made a map of where all those buildings were.
What year is this?
This is 2003.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Probably May or June.
17 buildings. That's
Gotcha.
it.
That was it. That's what was available.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's funny enough. We'll get to this later, but about the same number are available in Dallas-Fort Worth today as well. Or it's usually about that number.
Wow.
So I made a map that went with it, and then I made a list of 425 food companies, and I called them all. And I said, hey, I've got a map and a list of every available freezer and cooler space that has available freezer and cooler space in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Would you like to see it? And they said, yeah, send it over. So, well, I can't send it to you. It's how I make my living.
Yeah.
So, but I will show it to
Just
you.
send it to you.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah,
That's right.
so how about 2:50 tomorrow afternoon? Just give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So someone I read in one of the sales books that if you do that, if you say, "Hey, I only need 10 minutes," no, you're trying to set a meeting with someone. They're going to be in my office for an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving this person an hour to, but if you tell them, hey, let's meet at 2:50 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And give me 10 minutes. I'll be out of there by 3:00. Maybe that works.
David, it does work.
It
It's
does.
it's psychological sales too, and setting meetings and planning. I'm going to get into the unethical stuff that people are doing now and sending just random team invites to your
So
email.
annoying.
I'm like, hey, team invite, blah blah blah, to discuss your new HR policies. And it's hitting my calendar like, do you accept invite? It's like, no, that's not how you do things. That bothers me.
Yeah.
However, if you're talking to someone and you say, hey, we should get together and meet. Do you want to meet at this location? Look at it. They're going to say, maybe. But if you say, hey, tomorrow at 3:00, let's meet for 10 minutes at this spot. And you set a time and date. You're essentially giving them like, okay, that's the time. Let's do it. Right? I mean, it's so critical. Where'd you learn that?
It was in, I don't know, I read a lot of sales books around that time.
That's right.
And I don't remember which one off the top of my head. I really need to research that. I bet if you should be able to put that in the Googler and find it out.
We should.
The Little Red Book of Sales.
Yeah.
I have a copy for you.
Have
you read that?
I have. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It was one of my first sales books I read out of college when I went to ASI Enviro Doors. The Little Red Book of Sales.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I know we have a whole stack.
And I bought a bunch of them on Amazon like 2 or 3 years ago because every time I run by someone that is in a sales role or position, and I'm like, you know what, you might be able to benefit from this book like I did, and I give them a copy.
I'll read it again. It's been a while.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe get one of his copies because he hides money in it to see if people actually read it or not.
You put money at the very end.
Not at the end. You can't put it early at the end.
Just put like a $5 bill in there, or a $100, whatever, however you're
You're
rolling.
probably doing it.
Like 3/4 the way through.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, hey, I read the book. Oh yeah.
That way it might
Maybe-
fall out when at least you're a quarter of the way through.
Tape it. Got
You
it.
tape it
Oh,
in.
You tape it in. Tape it in.
And you tape it, somewhere towards the end of the book because here's the thing, like we're trying to help, right?
Right.
And so when you're not seeing the results that you're looking for, you have to then look at yourself. If you have a good support around you, then have to look at yourself and be like, well, what am I not doing? Did you read page 78?
Right.
I stole that idea from a movie, The Draft.
Oh, wow.
Was it The Draft
don't
with
remember
Kevin
it.
Costner?
He was in that.
What was
one.
that football movie? Kevin Costner?
Yeah. I don't know.
And they were going to draft that quarterback, and then they ended up not drafting the quarterback from Wisconsin because he was just all about himself, and no one showed up to his birthday party, and they gave him a playbook to read, and at the end, very close to the end of the playbook, they like put a $100 bill in the back, and the coach goes, well, what'd you think of the playbook? He's like, yeah, I read it front to back, no problem. Well, if you read something like that and see it, you're going to say something about the money. You know what I mean? So he knows he didn't read it.
Yeah.
So he knew he was lying, and he knew right then and there not to draft him because, well, he's lying.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
tell.
Great movie.
sidebar. Sorry.
No, all good.
total sidebar.
Yeah.
Anyways, you set the appointment.
I set the appointment,
There you go.
and I would have the meeting, and then going in and sitting down. Sometimes, well, okay, it's 3:00 now.
That's right.
It's been 10 minutes. I'll get out of your hair. No. You can stay a few more minutes. Or, no, I do have another one, but I want to get back with you. Let's figure it out.
That's very respectful. You bring that 10 back up and say
You
that.
need to.
Yeah.
You need to. So it's an ethical thing. It's the right way, and that's a first impression. So you need to honor it. But
cool.
I made my first 19 deals in commercial real estate from that exercise.
Wow.
And they were all related to that first building, that exercise of going out and cold calling and knocking on doors. And there's only one buyer for that building, but then someone else would say, well, I don't need the freezer and cooler space. I do use it. I don't need it, but I also need a place for my packaging. And I made a 60,000 square foot deal that a lease in off I-30 that was among my first.
Wow.
And then it became, I think, 99% of what we do has temperature controlled space. I mean, we do some work too also that does not, but is packaging or is other food related or food grade dry.
That's right.
For food companies.
And now y'all are hot and heavy in cold storage now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is that because of you and that transition into getting into cold? Is that
That's
how
what you're famous for.
is that what you're famous for?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Put CBRE on the map for cold.
Yes.
there were others before me,
Mhm.
and we have a few other people at the company that do that and have done it for longer than I have.
Gotcha.
But it was organic for what I started,
Yeah.
and my career and my team is kind of what we built together.
So cool.
So 20 years ago, Kevin Kelly joined me,
Mm-hmm.
and then 15 years ago, Lucy Durbin.
Yeah.
So we've been together for the three of us for the last 15 years.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Lucy and Kevin are fantastic.
So good.
You have an awesome team.
Oh, thank you.
And you cover the U.S. now.
Yeah, so what started with Dallas-Fort Worth, we now have the national version of that same map, and it's not 11 by 17 printout that I walk in and show someone.
That's right.
It is, we
Yeah.
have very good charge of our data these days, and we're at CBRE, which is the largest real estate firm in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the platform, the tools, the data,
Yeah.
the responsiveness from the company to help us put together what we need to serve our clients, increase our business.
Absolutely.
It's good for everybody.
How has, like, from your perspective, when you're looking at a building, how has it changed in terms of like what you're were there any specifics that you were looking at back then that you're like, oh, this is going to be a really good one versus 23 years later when you guys are looking for buildings now? Has there been a lot of change? Anything that sticks out to you that's like, this is what people are like looking for now?
I think more importantly in the last 10 or 15 years, there's been more focus on the supply chain and on the efficiency of the building.
Yeah.
Really, 20 years ago, it was still important to have good efficient systems and to understand what the refrigeration system was, is the vault itself. Will it hold temperatures? Does it have vapor barrier problems? Is there condensation? Is there ice? Do the doors work?
Yes.
Do
the doors work? It's a
Very,
good question.
very important.
You see them frozen over every once in a while.
Yes.
Some of these older buildings.
Yes.
Occupiers run the full spectrum, right? So
Oh yeah.
as you started to see new product come to the market, or if an occupier would even do an addition to their plant to hold finished goods, or if they needed to lease space somewhere else, whatever space that they were in for the last 20, 25 years, what's happened, and it still happens today, is it just goes to the next user. The cold chain is expanding. I don't know if if I see that it's expanding quite to the level as you read in a lot of the news articles that have been in the news for the last 5 years, and is
The
it
research
just
marketing
taking over?
articles,
There's a lot of those too.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's really pushing that narrative, and then the periodicals and the newspapers and everything else might pick up on some of those and run with it, and then you get everyone really excited about cold storage, which
Then
I do like. That's good for everyone.
Yeah,
But
it is. It is to a point.
you need to temper it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I can go two different directions here. Spec building, and has that been just overdriven and saturated now with building buildings that just we can't lease now? And then there's, because of the industry right now, David, what's wild to me is that these articles are launching cold storage, and all these new general contractors are coming out of the woodwork now. They're like, hey, I want to do this. Hey, I want to do this. And they've never done it before. And it can cause some problems.
Yeah.
Same with brokers.
Yes.
There've been a lot of new brokers that have,
I'm sure,
and look, a lot of them are very good
at what they do.
Yes, and in a short amount of time have gotten pretty good at cold storage. But it's like anything else.
Yeah.
It takes 5 or 10 years to really know and understand the market and the building, and to see. I've seen every building that's been available in the last 23 years in Dallas-Fort Worth area. I've seen pretty much all of them.
Yeah,
and then a lot of other clients and customers in other space that we've maybe done an opinion of value on, or we've seen. So we've seen a lot of space.
But it's so different. You got to go in these buildings and say, okay, what kind of refrigeration system did you install, right? What's the warranty behind that? Who's behind that? Is that company still in business? The high-speed door systems going from cooler to freezer, what kind of doors are those? Are they in good shape? Like, right? I mean,
Yeah.
from an
You have a box in
operational
the box.
standpoint, box and box.
And what's the floor heating?
Exactly.
Oh, there is none. Okay. Oh, it's built up, but there is
Yeah.
none. Or you've got a ventilation system.
Ventilation
electric,
system,
or
which is
glycol,
super old school.
Yeah, there's
That's
a lot
right.
of different ways to do it.
So many different things that a broker should, I mean, because you've been doing it so long, but these new folks that come in that don't truly understand all that, it's,
Yeah, they'll learn.
They'll learn. Same with the GCs.
Yeah.
They learn the hard
Yeah.
way too. You know,
it just takes a little time, and we love working with them. And there isn't any reason that you don't. I mean, we want to cooperate with them.
That's right.
We want to get the transaction done.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We put the client first, and we want to get that done for our landlord or for our tenant.
That's right.
We do both. We
Okay.
represent landlords and tenants
Gotcha.
Okay.
because it's a niche, right? And there's really, when you're focused on that, but we have a team also, so we work on slightly different things as a team, but we still work together when we need our mind to understand an asset
There you go.
or a challenge for a tenant. How do we get past this, or what else should I be considering? What other buildings? We powwow on the stuff that matters, and
That's
then
right.
keep our fiduciary to our client, keep the the quiet stuff out. So.
That's right. Well, let's defend the new folks though too. Just like just like you defend the new folks that are trying to get in cold, they learn it. They're partnering with the right people. That's huge too. I defend the new GCs getting into this because the old school guys come up to me all the time, and be like, I can't believe they're doing this now. I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe. Well, listen, but at the end of the day, they are asking the right questions and they're partnering with the right subs, and they're trying to get a team of cold storage excellence under one roof of every different major trade and sub to build the building. And if you get the right people in the room, man, that's all you need, in my opinion.
Well, and there's so many organizations that support, I would say, the cold industry now. Things like GCCA,
That's
things
right.
like CBA. The Icon Conference is amazing, that if people are interested, there are places that they can go where they can maybe have an accelerated learning experience about what are the important things that we have to be looking for. And I think the new people who are entering this space, if they're doing that, they're going to be 5 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Would you work with let's say a new GC is coming in and goes, hey, I think I have a client, but we need some help with some pre-development studies. Do you guys do all that stuff too?
We assist and we help shepherd it. We have a project management, Turner & Townsend with CBRE, that is, we have some good experience with project management on cold storage in-house.
Very cool.
They're a great resource for us. And if they don't know the answer, they'll help us. But we also know a lot of people in the industry that are willing to help us because we've been part of it for a long time. And going back to helping the new guy. I was a new guy 23 years ago. And there were people before me. I didn't invent this. Yeah. I don't want it to come off that way. I owe a lot to other folks that had
Absolutely
been there before me.
Absolutely. No, I think that that's such an important thing to note, is that this industry has been around for a really long time, and anyone who's doing well in it is doing well in it because they were taught or mentored or took the time to ask the questions and build their knowledge base about how to function in it.
100%.
So I know he's done it as well. So the mentorship, and I think that's the cool, I don't know if you've experienced this on the real estate side, but that's the cool thing, is I think people in this industry are willing to sit down and have conversations and share knowledge and information and, pain points, things like that. I haven't met many people who hide their cards close to their chest here. Everyone sees that there's enough opportunity for everyone to be successful here. So let's share and let's engage and let's learn.
Yeah.
Teach
100%.
all of that. So it's been a good experience. No?
So, yeah, it has. I'm just getting my next thought over here from my boy David over here.
All right.
I was going to ask him a question. Common mistakes companies make when entering cold storage markets.
Well, I think when you asked about spec a few minutes ago, do I think that we've gone too far or too fast? It's really hard to say. There have been, in 2022, you had 7 true spec buildings put on the ground. 23 and 24, the same. 6 delivered in 2025, and a couple in progress for next year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
About 22% of that space from 2024 is leased, but there's still a good amount of availability, and the same with 25.
Okay.
So it's not probably where you really want to see those numbers from a leasing perspective.
Right.
But I think it's really important. I think that there's still a path for spec cold storage,
Okay.
but it is really it comes down to putting the right building that matches the history of the tenant demand in that market, which is really hard to track if you don't do it all the time. If you don't have brokers or someone else that's been tracking that data for a long period of time and has been working in these markets for a long period of time.
How long would you say, like, if you were, if this was you, how much data would you want? How many years of that tracking would be important for you to consider?
For me personally, probably 10.
Okay.
Because
that's what I was gonna.
you have pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
and then post, and then what have those trends really look like? And sometimes, I mean, even for our own, were we tracking exactly that tenant demand in Dallas-Fort Worth in 2018, 2016?
Sure.
We were a little bit. We can look at former leasing reports and other things and find out who was looking, what was their requirement, and we can piece that together somewhat.
Okay.
Can we do that in some other markets? Our team can, because we've, working nationwide, our business is now 80%. Whereas our business is now 80% outside of Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we know our own backyard very well, and we've worked in a lot of other markets. And we, as with the platform that CBRE has, we work with brokers in other markets with our firm, or sometimes with other firms. And we really want the best person on the ground for that assignment that hopefully has had some experience in other cold assignments and can track some of that, help us piece together that information. We're doing work for clients in 100 countries around the world.
What?
Not my team.
I know, but still,
still.
that's still
Our
pretty
firm,
insane.
And we have 140,000 employees. So there's a ton of resources and a ton of people.
I didn't know you guys were that big. How many offices y'all have?
I would have to
Google
We'll have to look that up.
140,000 employees?
140,000 employees.
Man.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So it's a lot. So we have the ability to look into markets and to work with our brokers in those markets and look back as much as we can. But really, when you look at spec, are you building a building that's cookie cutter and you're going to build the same thing in every market and let's just go to town and keep pushing them out? It's probably not really the answer. And maybe with a lot of the news articles that you did see a few years ago, look, maybe that is the answer. Let's go and roll these out.
I think if you were going off of them, I think a lot of people would have thought that was the right move.
Right. And how divisible do you need to be? Because when you're not seeing the majority of that space that comes to market now leased by the public refrigerated warehousers, it's related. You are having the PRWs lease some of that space, for sure. But the stuff that is truly speculative and is not pre-leased or build-to-suit for a public refrigerated warehouse, and it looks like it's a spec building. When you really clean it out, you've had 7 spec buildings delivered in 22, 23, 24, and in 25 we'll have there's 6. And only a couple for next year. So you've got that trend has started to got a little bit of vacancy the last couple of years that you need to look at. And why is that? Maybe we put some of these buildings where it really doesn't need to be, or it's not quite divisible to the size that it needs to be to meet the historical tenant demand in that market. So I think those are all nuances that you really need to look. And are you designing the building the way that the occupier needs it? In that area, do you need a tremendous amount of trailer parking? Do you need double gate access? Do you need employee parking? Or might there be a manufacturing component? Might they use it as tri-temp?
Are you building next to a big meat processing plant or a big meat processing city, right, in the Midwest? A lot of beef. A lot of poultry.
There are so many things to take into consideration, because we've been on some of our project sites where there is very minimal, area even around the building. I was like, how are trucks going to navigate as well, right? There's a huge drop off on the backside. I'm like, that's scary.
It is.
So it's a lot of things to consider that I don't think when someone's like, I want to get in cold, I like this, I want to put this building up, they're not necessarily looking at it through that lens. and it's an important one.
Indeed, it is.
Okay, so we're seeing less spec over the past.
We probably are at the moment,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say that that's going to stop. And I don't think it should. I think it's just, you really need to be informed about your decisions. And there are some companies out there that are doing that very well.
Yeah.
So I think that will continue.
Obviously, there was a boom after COVID, right?
Sure.
And then we all saw a huge up, 2021, 22, 23, maybe taper off a bit.
Just
right?
a bit, not much.
Not much. 2024 and 25, I think we just started kind of seeing hey, things are going to slow down a little bit, right?
Yeah, really what you saw, about the same number of buildings that were true spec, being 7 a year there, but the overall size in 2022 was literally right at 300,000 square feet was the average size. The average size in 2024, if I remember right, it was 240,000 square feet.
Okay.
And you've had a few smaller buildings in there, and it's still a few that are 300 plus. So it's what's right for the market in that particular submarket, in that region of the country.
Do you see any regions that are doing more in cold than others? Like I know, like I think back to like when we started our company, 2020 probably, like we were all East Coast work.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. And then it like shifted down to like the South. What are you seeing maybe this year as we go into 2026? Like, is there a region that's
Popping? What region's popping?
I think it's less of a spec question on that as to
Just
overall.
Overall, yeah.
Let's talk big
overall.
picture.
Yeah. Dallas-Fort Worth is still very busy with that. Yeah.
People keep moving here,
Yes,
David.
they
Still
do.
moving here.
It is ridiculous. The traffic. Why would we move here?
People are great.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
a good
living
business
here.
climate. There's a lot of good reasons.
No.
And when you're doing nationwide work, is there a better place to be than DFW to be able to get on a plane
Oh my gosh.
and have a good chance of being out and back at the same time?
Oh, now
I would say that's been life changing.
Oh, now DFW's feeling it though. I mean, the construction down there and what they're trying to do, and it is
There's going to be some growing pains as they make it.
But I love getting in and out in a day. Direct flights everywhere. It's convenient. Yeah, so let's talk big picture. 2026. A lot of our listeners probably going to tune in for this question. How does 2026 look, big picture, volume, construction wise? Construction speaking.
Yeah. From where I sit, I think it looks stable, if not maybe slightly upward.
Okay.
About the same. It feels like, I can tell you that from 2024, it was not a lot of leases made in cold storage from where we sit during the year, and then clock ticked over into 2025. And I don't really view this as election related or any of that. It just doesn't really align, having been through several of the cycles now. It was, and it's not really pent up demand either. We made a lot of progress towards this requirement and the space that we need in 2024, and then they moved on it in January, February, March of 25.
Okay.
I think we're seeing a little bit of the same, although we've had pretty good activity for what we've been seeing over the end of the year, and we probably have more deals in the market right now that are actively looking at space, cold storage space, tri-temp, food manufacturing, food distribution of several different sorts. And we're expecting that some of that will be like 2025, where in 2026, maybe that first quarter, it'll be actionable. But we've seen a lot more on the build-to-suit front than maybe box in a box, and still good second-generation movement. If a good second-generation tri-temp or cold storage building comes available, if it's a good building in a reasonable market, you can do something with that. So it will lease or sell. It might take a little bit of time to get that done, but there'll be an occupier for it.
Wow. Good.
Have you ever come across a building that you're like, we should just tear this down?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Typically, it may be smaller ones, and there's some larger ones too that if they just haven't been well maintained, and you've got buildings that have different types of refrigeration. And if you really get into some of the older, antiquated brine refrigeration systems, and they're really not seeing too many of those anymore.
Yeah.
But Freon systems, you have a lot of different componentry that you can still maintain and keep temperature for a long time. And maybe it's not the snazziest looking building, but it's important to the cold chain. And on the ammonia refrigeration systems, there's still a lot you can do. Maybe you need to replace a compressor or a couple compressors, control systems, do some things towards efficiency.
Sure.
So there's you can do that. But then how's the vault, right? Do you have good doors? Do you have proper vapor barrier? Do you how's your IMP?
Yeah, that's true. What's the average life cycle for a building, cold storage building?
Well, today they're really the good builders are looking at building a building that will last 40, 50 years, being very functional for 40 or 50 years. Yeah. I'm not really talking about ASRS systems, just straightforward 50-foot top of product.
That's right.
ESFR, Tyco Quell, K34 heads, something that is really proper loading dock that you've got, continuous pit, tilt-up levelers, plenty of room for staging loads.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you've thought about all the amenities that go into the health and welfare of the facility, the people that work there.
Oh, for sure.
And have a good place to work and have the building look right and really function.
Yep.
So it really comes down to how long will this building function.
On a building like that, has anyone ran like a cost of a maintenance cost average out year over year to maintain that facility? For an example, let's say your dock doors need to get replaced after 15 years and it's $8,000 a door. There's 50 dock doors. Right. There's 4 or 8 cold storage freezer doors, and those last 10 years.
Right.
Whatever. Has anyone put a general study together on cost of your annual cost, kind of mapped out for 40 years and what it's going to cost to operate?
I don't know that I've seen it that long. Obviously, you can get into cost segregation studies and depreciation and look at ages and costs and anticipated. And our firm we do that as well.
Yep. So
we do see that. I think really on the cold storage front, it really comes down to the cost per pallet. And all those things are important when it comes to cost per pallet. So is transportation, your ability to have employees. What's the cube? I mean, it's really about the cube in this industry, not the square footage. So, but different types of cold storage users and food companies, cube is, stacking high is more important to some, not all. It just depends on number of SKUs and number of turns, temperature zones, what if you need floor drains or not. There's a lot that goes in. So everyone's different, and you really have to really know and understand the industry to be able to apply what makes sense. And then to see if that legacy building can work for us. Do we need to build a suit? Is the value there to do the new one? And then there's a lot of different comparisons I think you can follow at that point.
How long does it typically take? Like, we're talking about a lot of data to go through then. So if you're working with a client, they're coming in, they want either, build a suit or they want to lease a space. Like, how much? Because I feel like you could get overwhelmed with the data.
Yeah.
How much do you see that your clients want to dive into that data with you, and how much do you present them? As much as they want to see?
Yeah. So we have really spent a lot of time in the last 3 years getting our data together.
Okay.
And getting really what the picture is of the national market and getting that very fine-tuned as to all those elements and characteristics of buildings that are available there. And then we have a tool that if we're working with an end user that wants to lease some space and they want to compare multiple buildings. This is something that only we could curate because the national databases that track industrial properties and everything like that, they don't have the nuance, the understanding, or even the categories to track the elements that are important to the cold storage user, so we do that. Okay. We gather all that data and we present it to them, and we have a couple different formats that we can do that. And it really just depends on what's important to them. And then we can custom tailor that from a number of fields and then go get whatever data we don't have. So it does take some time, but a lot of the hard work for us has been done over the last 3 years.
Awesome.
Nice.
What about location? Do you have clients who are like adamant that like, I need a building here, it has to be here, even if maybe you have like exactly what they're looking for, like
Yes.
a state or so over. Okay.
Yeah. And then you get into the question of maybe you need to build a suit. Okay, well, let's go through that, and what does it cost? And then the cost per pallet may be significantly higher just because of it's new construction versus something of value that's on the market that's maybe 20 years old and still good and functional, but it's in the wrong spot. So then you really do have to look at labor and logistics and everything else.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of give and take in that. And we see a lot of times a client will say, I need to be on the southeast side of town or the northwest part of town or wherever.
Okay.
And then you look at what's available. And then even if you wanted to build a suit in the area where they want to be, there might not even be land to do it.
Right.
So then you have to go and look at the process again anyway.
Okay.
What's been your coolest deal that you've ever done?
Ooh, pun intended.
Wow. Probably, I'm going to think on that one for one second.
You think on it. Because I'm going to follow up with, I want to know the coolest deal you've ever done. And then I'm going to want to know a cool story, like a cool moment in the industry. 2-part question.
It's a good one.
And don't make them both the same thing, okay?
Okay, now I thought I did my homework.
I know. It's okay. I mean, it's fun because we grow up in this industry and been doing it so long, and it's hard to remember all the great moments we've had.
That's for sure.
And there's been so many great moments and great people we've met along the way and fostered friendships that turn into a family feel. And this industry, in my opinion, is family to all of us.
So
love being involved. Love doing this and like just meeting new people and understanding their stories and where they come from and just really being in a cool moment is special. So
okay.
Yeah, we can share ours if you want. If you need more time to think.
No.
You got
the question
one
again, and I got it. Let's start over.
Do you have a cool moment? Or wait, what was my question?
Yes.
Cool
No, I want to know a cool deal. Yeah. What's been your coolest deal?
One that's very interesting was that we had a dilemma. There was a food company, and this is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they have a manufacturing plant, and they need a place for cooler space, but there's no cooler space within 10 minutes of the plant, and it needs to be close.
Yeah.
So have a building that is pretty nearby, and they put this out for bid with, it was like 60 3PLs saying, okay, we need you to handle cooler space for us. And we saw the requirement probably from 3 or 4 different brokers with different 3PLs say, hey, you have any cooler space at this building? We have a former grocery distribution center. It's over 1 million square feet. It's got 300,000 square feet of freezer and cooler. None is available. But we said we've added freezer and cooler into this building for other occupants, box in a box.
That's right.
Yeah.
We could do the same for you. How much space do you need? Well, we need about 140,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
And we need this many pallets. Okay, well, that space is 25 foot clear. By the time we do a box in a box, we'll probably be 23. We'll probably be, maybe 20, 21 top of product.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work. So we looked at raising the roof. And we did. We raised the roof on an industrial building that was built in 1970.
Okay.
And created 140,000 square feet of cooler space, put the engine room in, small ammonia system.
Wow.
And it is 33 degree space, created dock area where it wasn't before.
Wow.
So it was really kind of a reinvention of that space.
That's awesome.
Holy
Really
cow.
fun.
How long ago was that?
This was going on close to 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a company that is at CBRE, and that's what they do. They jack up old buildings.
Yeah.
Did you get, what's the name of that company? I'll give them a plug. Do you know
There's
the name?
several.
Are there several?
Yes,
Okay.
there's 7 or 8, and we've talked to several of them, and
Okay.
I think the pricing at that point to do that was about $14 a foot 10 years ago. I don't know what it would be today.
Sure.
But it depended on if they'd done a similar lift of similar size. I think we took that building from 25 to 36.
Okay.
How do you do that?
So the jack stanchions they make, and they have a compressor manifold that has all the tubing run to the jacks. They cut the columns off at that point, and they sister in these jacks, and then they, with the manifold and the different toggle switches, they're watching the whole thing while they lift it. Now they had to do this in 4 different pieces, so they cut the roof physically at the top, and all the structural, the electrical, disconnect sprinklers, and then do the lift, and then get all that stuff reconnected, then build your wall along the side where it needs to go, and then it was a box in a box after that. So
that's amazing. Yeah. How long does a project like that take?
It was, I don't remember exactly, but it was a lot faster than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
I think that they were only on site for maybe like 3 weeks. And a lot of that is prep. When they actually did the roof raising itself, that was maybe a day or 2.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Took you 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But 3 weeks of prep.
But if the roof jet company, with the company that we were working with, it was reasonably fast to be able to mobilize, because they have to custom build some of the jacks to do that based on the size that you're starting and the size that you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
So do they have those in inventory sitting out there? We did. If they did that for someone else, very
Yeah.
similar, it's very easy to go and mobilize and do it.
That's cool.
Just raise the roof.
Raise the roof.
That's right.
That's it. That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's a cool story.
Well, it's different. It's something you won't see. Like,
Do you remember your first deal in cold?
My first deal in cold, well, my very first deal that was really me was a packaging deal for an ice cream company.
Okay.
So that was, I don't remember.
Was that exciting?
It was. I was over the moon.
I love that.
Because it was organically generated.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I probably worked on a couple other things under my mentor at that time that were maybe cold storage kind of related, just getting going with it, but I needed some help. That one was completely organic for me. And then really after that deal, I couldn't, I'd have to look back.
The first sale that's organic, though, is so special.
Oh, yeah.
Out of college, when I worked for ASI Doors, I covered Wisconsin, and I called on this little mom and pop shop. This Widmer cheese out of Wisconsin.
so good.
And the guy's plant almost looked like his house. And I think I went in his basement where he had where he was making all the cheese, and he had these little tiny cooler boxes, and there was an old 1978 Enviro molded fiberglass door on the wall. And here, I don't know anything about what I'm doing at this stage in my career, right out of college, selling cold storage doors.
Right.
And he's like, he's like, yeah, I got to replace some stuff when I come on in here. I'm thinking, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be like a $50,000 or $100,000 project, and I'm going to replace all these doors. And I go in this guy's basement, I feel. And I see this old door, and he's like, I want to replace that. And it was one door, $3,500.
Yep.
Big deal. But I brought that back to my boss. I was so excited, Chuck Zimmerman. I'm like, man, I got this deal. And he goes, cool, man, you sold a 3x7 door. It's going to take us 16 weeks to build, and we're going to make $15 on it. I'm like, boo. I think my commission on it was $5.
He's going to grow. That guy's going to grow.
But dude, I've since then seen their cheese in stores, and I buy it sometimes. It's a fantastic product.
A great Christmas gift. Their
Widmer
boxes
cheese is the
for
best.
Christmas, their Colby is insane. Their boxes for Christmas up in the Midwest, my grandfather would send those to people every year. And it was like, when you got that Widmer's box, you were excited. Sure. So
I bet you since then they probably built a big new plant. I didn't even know about it. And the guy took off after that. And I still got the owner's number in my cell phone. It's funny, I've carried over 1,800 contacts of these end users in my cell phone since I started.
I do too. I've got the same thing working.
I can't even go through that Rolodex right now. I don't even know. I have names next to these. I'm like, should I call Robert? Hack? What? I don't know. It's all good.
No.
It's old school stuff.
But you don't forget it.
You don't forget your first
You
sale.
remember how you felt.
Yeah, you don't forget.
You might forget some of the details, but you remember how you felt.
That's right.
Those special times.
When people are looking for space, let's say we have very blessed to have a lot of people listen to this show, and from all walks of life, owners, GCs, and just warehousers, everybody. And so I always ask this question: if someone's looking to find more space, lease space, whatever, You want them to think about CBRE, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they do, why should someone select you guys for that help?
I think it's really about the perspective of the industry and really understanding and knowing the product and having the breadth and the resources and the data in order to help them make the right decision.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's really, it's about them. It's their business.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lifeline of their company.
Mm-hmm.
There's the real estate and the people.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to put the right thing together, and you got to make sure that you're really showing them everything that's out there,
Yes.
which is hard to do, and hard unless you do it all the time.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult in this industry.
Wow. That's right.
Yeah. People are going to want to see their options. That's for sure.
Boom.
Yeah.
Sold. Sold.
Our thanks to Rytech High Performance Doors for supporting the Cool Times podcast. Rytech doors provide high-speed performance plus high-tech safety features.
They're customized to offer outstanding operation and energy efficiency for cooler, cold storage, and many other commercial applications.
Rytech. Quality, performance, reliability. Why settle for less?
This episode is brought to you by VersaFoam.
VersaFoam is your trusted solution for high-performance spray foam in cold storage construction.
Easy to apply, built to perform in the harshest environments, and energy efficient.
VersaFoam. Spray it, don't pay it.
If someone is in need of your real estate services, how do they find you? How do they contact you or your team at CBRE?
Yeah, CBRE.com and food facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Type
that's
that
right.
in, they'll find me.
Awesome.
And
Cool.
got my mobile numbers on there. And
Man, you're on LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
LinkedIn as
Sure.
well. Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Can't miss it.
Got to be famous for something, my guy.
Uh-huh.
You know, I love this stuff. One of my favorite parts about doing this podcast is when we do these interviews, I always take away one thing that like stands out that I can implement into my day-to-day or to how to run the business, manage people, anything, right? Like anything at all. And that right there is huge. Be famous for something. Hey, I'm going to call this guy because he always calls me back, answers my phone call. And when I ask for something, he gets it back to me within 15 minutes.
right.
Right? You are famous for something.
That's hard to do too.
Hard to do. That's being famous for something,
is.
right? Yeah, it's really, I think that's a really special takeaway I really want the listeners to implement into 2026 is to, hey, whatever you're doing in this industry and you're listening, whatever you do, man, be like David Sowers and be famous for something.
Or something.
Because that is so.
Find your thing.
Find your thing. You know, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be sales related. It can be really anything at all.
Could
Just
be something new.
be memorable.
Yeah.
That's what Brett Wedding always says, right? Be memorable.
Yeah.
Like when you go into a meeting, are you going to be remembered, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and that guy's very memorable.
He sure is.
He's great. He's great. Well, I get to do the fun part of this segment and ask you this or that
All right.
questions. We get to learn a lot about you, harass you.
Harass, such a strong word. All right, this or that.
Oh yeah, this is why I got my girl right here.
He was going on a soapbox.
Stop it. All right. David, this or that question time. We get to learn a lot about you. Dallas Stars or Pittsburgh Penguins?
Dallas Stars.
That's not on the list.
Stars.
That's not on the list. Dallas Cowboys or Green Bay Packers?
Where's the cricket button? There you go.
All right.
My dad's a huge Packer fan.
Nuh-uh.
And I live in Dallas.
Oh.
I grew up a St. Louis football Cardinal fan.
Okay.
Because we had season tickets.
That's
when I was a kid.
Let's see. That's awesome. Why is he a Packer fan?
He's a big fan of Green Bay Packers. I
love it.
I don't know. You got to pick something at some point. So
Might as well pick the greatest dynasty of all time.
He's a shareholder.
That's right.
I love it.
Got that paper. Pre-construction meeting at 7 a.m. or a client dinner at 7 p.m.?
Pre-construction meeting at 7 a.m.
Boom. Call/text or email.
Email.
Teach a construction class or mentor someone one-on-one.
Mentor someone one-on-one because construction, I lean on my friends in the construction industry.
Okay. Beach vacation or a mountain getaway?
Beach vacation.
Early bird or late night grinder?
A little of both. I kind of oscillate.
Okay.
But I would typically, I'm fresher in the morning when it comes to really working most of the time, but sometimes it carries you past.
It does.
True.
I've been taught from many people to do your hardest tasks in the morning right away.
Yeah.
Because they're fresh. So I'll wake up, grab coffee, and knock out the hardest thing I don't want to do that day.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Team call with the camera on or off?
Camera on.
That's it.
On.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
No one keeps them on anymore.
I know.
It's rude. Anyways.
I start with it on, and then if everyone is off,
Then
I turn it off.
I'll turn it off only when I get up and go get coffee, and I know I'm no one's paying attention. Anyways,
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm all right, I'm gonna get a quick coffee, come back, flip it on. All right, project kickoff meeting or project closeout celebration?
Kickoff meeting for me. I mean, it's different as a broker rather than maybe in the construction side, but really, it's so exciting. I mean, it's great when you close it and it's getting it done, but just the kickoff that we're really going on this thing.
Yeah.
So we worked on trying to get in the barn for a long time.
That's right.
So it's nothing more exciting.
Yeah,
for me.
Kick it off, baby.
it.
Love that. This isn't a this or that question, but I find this one interesting, and we're asking our guests this year this question. If you could do a TED Talk on any topic at all, what would it be?
So if we're having to pick randomly something that you would enjoy talking
any
about.
topic at all. It could be anything.
Anything.
It could be why you think hockey is a more fun sport live than soccer or tennis or volleyball. It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. That is a hard one.
That's a hard one.
For me, I think I would do a TED Talk on, doesn't matter where you came from or your upbringing, you are in full control of your destiny.
Oof.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's a good one.
So that's what I would talk about.
I like it.
Only because it's got to come with experience and life knowledge. And so do situations help in upbringings? Of course. But ultimately, man, I've heard so many amazing stories from people that literally were ground zero and all of a sudden just flipped it and said, no, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. And then they just flip a switch and go and do it. And it turns out amazing.
I think I would do a TED Talk on getting a good night's sleep.
Ooh.
Okay, start.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I would listen to that.
Oh my God.
We don't always do it, right? But you need to. And my wife tried this literally last night, and so I said, I'm getting up early tomorrow. She said, all right, I'll get up early too. We went to bed as soon as Cowboys game was over. And she said, I read this and I'm going to do this. Do you get a better night's sleep if you write down everything that you did properly for the day or the things that you didn't get to? Well, the answer supposedly is the things you didn't get to that you should have done today.
Yep.
So she wrote all those down last night.
Yeah.
And then she was still in bed this morning when she didn't get up last night. She slept through the night. So,
but it's because that's so true because those are the things that ruminate on things that continue to run through your mind that they find their way into your dreams.
That's right.
And they haunt you there.
Yeah,
that's right.
So if you can get them out of your head, get them on paper, be able to look at them the next day, you can release it so that you can get that restful sleep that you need.
So I think my TED Talk, I think if I had a long time to come up with a good answer, there's probably something I'd be better at than giving this talk. But I really believe that if you feel like you did all you can that day and you are organized enough for the next day and the things you didn't get to, put them on your calendar, write them down, do something, and get that off of your brain for the night.
Yes.
So I'm very good at doing that, and I would love to coach people on that at some point.
So important because I think that is what leads to a lot of sleep issues, and sleep is the most important thing for our recovery. So
I'll be
tuning in.
You got mad when your Oura Ring didn't log your
I know I did
sleep the night before because you're like, I slept so good and the thing didn't work, and maybe because you slept too good.
I wanted credit for my good sleep.
Maybe you slept too good. I want credit for my good sleep.
I want credit for my good sleep.
I had a Whoop band and I lost it or it got stolen in Germany. I don't remember, but it was very interesting to look at my patterns of sleep and health activity and all that.
Strain.
Yeah, strain. Yeah, it was cool. Maybe I'll get another one. Maybe I'll get another one. We'll see.
Christmas is over, dude.
Wow. Fine.
So we're thinking,
I got a birthday coming up in March.
That's March.
That's right. Yes. All right. So every season I do a final question. Years past was Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber. Last year's was greatest sing-along song of all time. Friends in Low Places or Journey.
right.
Don't Stop Believing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one for this year. So, do we take this opportunity as a team here and come up with the 2026 this or that final question of the year? What would it be? Do we do that? The one I wanted to do was, what's a better show? Landman or Yellowstone?
Oh, I like it.
I was going to run with that one this year.
Pretty solid.
I know.
Oh, that's a hard choice.
I know.
You could also do Netflix series
That's right.
or
Dude, Game of
standalone
Thrones?
movie.
Remember Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I never watched it.
Oh, dude. That was...
You got into that hard.
That wasn't my thing either.
It's not my wife's thing, so
And it
We're
wasn't
out.
my thing. And then I watched it, and I'm like, okay, all right. And then, like, Jenna's like, what are you watching? Game of Thrones. She's like, fine. So she, like, comes in episode
Yeah, I had no
2.
choice. I had no choice.
She comes in episode
Season
2. Or season... No, you jumped in episode 2 or 3, and like, okay. And then, like, you went back to watch the first one. But, like, you got into it, too, then.
We did watch it, yeah.
That's good. All right. That's what we're going to do, then. Landman or Yellowstone?
Yellowstone.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
That's
You
going to be
better
a
like
tough one for
Or else
people.
take you to the train station.
That's right. Oh, man, that was amazing. Thanks for kicking
That's
off.
not a threat mode.
That's right. I like it. I like it. Hey, man, it's all good. David Sowers,
Thank you.
you are the man. That was awesome.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming in studio.
That was a fast hour, bro.
Y'all are gracious hosts. You're so good at this. You've really, for someone who's watched over half of all of your episodes, you've really come a long way. I'm just
Thank you.
really honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is so cool.
It is.
You have an awesome story, and you're amazing at what you do. And I'm so glad that we got to meet you and become friends with you over the years.
Y'all are
So
too kind. Thank you.
you're the best.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors as well
Yes.
for 2026. You guys, we don't do this without you. The podcast has not evolved without you, as David was saying, the way that it has. We appreciate y'all so much. And to all of our listeners, we're excited for y'all to hear what we have coming in 2026.
That's right. Well, until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.